we are living during a phenomenal time. At no point in the entire human history did we have access to such a huge amount of data. And on top of that, you can access all of it from anywhere, anytime, with just a few clicks. But human attention hasn't been so lucky. As the data around us grows, it becomes increasingly difficult to search for the relevant information. Hence, it is important to devise smart techniques to search this massive stream of information all around us. Hey everyone, this is Abhimanyu Singh from Coders for Coders, and today we will look at a very classical problem, that is a substring search inside a text using KMP. Now, KMP has a lot of resources already available online. But the thing is, if you want to just quickly understand the fundamentals and get going, then those might not be very relevant to you. So, we will change that situation into this video. We will discuss not only the intuition behind the algorithm, but also the entire code. So, let's get started. Suppose you are given a pattern P and a text file T. Your task is to find out number of occurrences of P inside the given text T. Just pause the video for a minute and think about the solution. Do not worry about the efficiency, just think how will you solve this problem. By now, you must have come up with a simple string searching algorithm. So what you do? You can just start with the first character of the pattern P here. Okay, and try to match it with the first character of text T. And then you keep matching till the characters differ. So this is the point of difference here. At this point, you can just start the match again from the second character of text T, and then see if your first character matches with that second character. If it doesn't, you start with the third character, and so on. So you will see that this will take O of M cross n time, where say M is the length of the pattern and N is the length of your text T. Now, I want you to make an observation here. After looking at the string, can you see that the correct place to start matching is not from the first character, not from the second, not from the third, but from the fourth character onwards? Wouldn't it be totally awesome if we can somehow directly get this information about where to start in case of a match failure? Let's think a bit more in this direction. Can we say that in the matched substring of the pattern that we have matched till now, okay, this one, if we find out the longest proper prefix, which is also a suffix, we can directly start matching from the point that suffix starts. So just to visualize, what I meant by that was, we see here that AB and AB is the longest prefix which is also a suffix in the substring ABC AB. Okay. Now we intend to start matching this pattern from some position in this substring. So if we just position our prefix to the suffix AB here, we are guaranteed that they will automatically match because they are the longest prefix which is also a suffix. Just pause the video and let this thought sink in, because this is the key observation behind the KMP algorithm. Why do you need to take the longest proper prefix? Why not any prefix? Just take an example here, small example. Say your P to be AAA and your T to be AAA 5 times. Okay. Just work out this example and you will realize why do you need to take the longest prefix. And please remember that a proper prefix or a suffix is not equal to the string itself. Now the question is, how do you encode this information about where to start in a single pass? Or to put it into another form, given a substring of a string like this, You need to find the length of the longest proper prefix for that substring so that you know where to start in case of a failure. And we don't have to redundantly match all the way from the start. Like, we do not have to consider even matching the second character, the third character, and so on. We can just directly start from the fourth character. So, to summarize, the drawback of the naive algorithm is that it does not study the pattern and blindly backtracks for comparison. Let's say there is a prefix function to which if you pass a string s, you have a prefix function, and if you pass a string s and an array, say pvec, it should populate the length of longest proper prefixes for all substring of the string s. We want to do this in OM time. So let's work on the prefix function. So let us consider you are given the array pvec in which you will be storing the entire longest prefix value, which is also a suffix, for each and every index of the given string p. Okay, and this is the value of p that you can see. Now you have to keep in mind that this function right here, it basically accepts a vector which is filled with 0. That means the entire vector should be initialized with 0, just for the sake of uniformity. And that means according to this function right here, the I is 1, and we can just put our I at position 1, and j can be I minus 1, which is at 0 right now. And since we can just see that the first character value is 0 because we initialize the vector in that way, and it also makes sense. I mean, for just a single character a, you can't have any prefix which is also a proper prefix, because the prefix shouldn't be equal to the string, and here any prefix which is, and here the prefix is a, which is again equal to a, so it can't be possible, and the value is 0. Now let's run the algorithm, and you can see that here the I is not equal to j, so the value will be 0, and then we will move I forward, and you will see I is equal to j here. That means we will basically increment j to j++, and we will also put pvec of I is equal to j. That means this is 1, and let's increment I now. So we can see that b is not equal to d. That means we will move j back till it is greater than 0. So moving j back here, and now putting the value of j, it comes out to be 0. Incrementing our I, it is a now, and it matches the j's value. So incrementing j and also putting the value here, it is 1. Incrementing our I, again it matches, it again matches, so we just put the value to be 2, because the value of j after incrementation will be 2, and we can just increment I to a again, and it will again match, so it will be similarly 3, and we can just increment j again and I again. Now you can see d and x do not match. In that case, just have a look at the algorithm here. So what we will do, we will basically shift j back, because this does not match. That means j is took at this step. J is pvec of j minus 1. That means this value 1, right? So that will be the new value of the j. Okay, so this is j. And if you see, right, we first try to match this ABA entire thing, and when we couldn't do it because we should have D here in case of X, we just try to match a smaller substring, which is ABA, and inside ABA we just see that, okay, what is this longest prefix, which is also a suffix, and it is, when you consider this string, it is A, right? Now Is x equals to b? No. That means again you will do j minus 1, and that will basically move your pointer to the 0th index, and now this loop will yield 0 in place of x. So this is how you will basically compute your prefix function. So here we have the text in which we need to search the pattern given to us. And from the last step, we know that this is the prefix array that we got. Okay. So right now we will be trying to trace this specific algorithm, and this will just try to find how many times the particular pattern occurs in a text. So let's get started. So according to this, initially the I is on the 0th index in the text, and the j is on the pattern again on the 0th index, and we just see whether j is greater than or equal to 0, and now we try to trace it. So okay, these basically match, and therefore we will increment I and j both. Again they will match, and hence we will just increment I and j. Again we can see that they are matching, so D and D also match. Fine, that's a good thing. Again A will match, your B will match, and your A will match. Okay, so you will have a situation where your I is on this position and your J is in this position. Now you will increment it again here. Now you see that A isn't equal to X. Therefore, the pattern match breaks here. So how will you backtrack? Just look at the algorithm. If it does not match, right, that means you will do j is equals to pvec j minus 1. This is very similar to the one that we used in the prefix function calculation. Okay, so that means your new j value, this 3. Okay, so this will be your new j, the third position in the pattern P. Now again you will see that okay, this I and this j does not match. In the while loop only we are considering this. So you just go to j minus 1, which is this position. Okay. And you can see that it still does not match. So you have no choice but to go to j equals to 0. Now when you are at that position with j equals to 0, you just notice that it's a match. The character at I and j, they basically match. So you will increment both I and j. So subsequently moving forward, you realize that ABADABAX and ABADABAX, these will match, and you can just verify it by tracing this algorithm over here. You will get the answer. Okay, so the number of match, which is num matches, will be 1 here, and if you have any more matches after this, they will be found in the similar fashion. So this is how you will count the number of occurrence of a pattern into a text by actually using the prefix sum array. That this is the function that we are calling in it, right? This is the function that we are calling here, and we already saw its code. And then after you got the pvec array, which is basically nothing but the longest proper prefix, which is also a suffix for every position in the string. You can just run this particular code and you can get the answer. So hey guys, that's all we had for this KMP video today. Hope you like it. Do let me know about the suggestions or any other criticism in the comment below, and let me know what you want us to cover in the coming videos. Thank you.